Hello everybody, in this video I will show you how to take a JavaScript project and migrate it to TypeScript, and in particular I will use React vite project as the JavaScript project, and the resulting project will be also React vite project but with TypeScript. Using TypeScript you can develop much faster with less bugs. So this is the motivation. I will have two directories, source directory and target directory. In the source directory, I will put the JavaScript project, and in the target directory, the resulting TypeScript project. So first, let's create directory for the source. Okay, and in this case I will put my personal website. My personal website is a React project. It's a React vite project. Actually, it was a Create React App project, but I have migrated it from Create React App to vite. So if you want to see how it was done, look at the link below, and I will take this project. Okay, so this is, I will take version 0.6. Paste it, unzip, remove the zip, and I will take the client. And put it here. And okay, so this is my personal website, JavaScript, React, and vite. Okay, so there it is, and cd source code dot okay, now let's see that it is actually working. Before I'm migrating it, I want to check that it is working correctly, so let's install dependencies and let's run it. See that it is working as expected. Otherwise, you should not migrate it, right? Okay, so this is my personal website. Home, about, contact, courses, mentoring, testimonials, and events. Okay, so the source is working. We can stop it. And now we need to create the target. So to create the target, we will create a vite TypeScript project. Okay, so npm init vite latest. Let's choose target. choose React and React TypeScript because we want to create a TypeScript project. Okay, so cd target npm install, and let's see that the target is working with npm run dev. Okay, so this is the regular vite project. Let's stop it. Okay, so we have done this. Now, let's rename in the target the src to underscore src and copy source and public from src and public from source. Okay, so first, let's rename it to underscore src and let's copy public and src from source. Okay. Now let's uninstall React and React DOM from the target. Okay, let's work on the target only. Okay, so here we have React DOM. So maybe this is like the React and React DOM that we have on the source map, but maybe not. So to be on the safe side, I'm uninstalling it, React and React DOM. Okay. And now we need to copy the dependencies from source to target. Okay, so let's open the source. And I don't need this and this because I already have it, and this is my project dependencies. Okay, so I want to copy it here. Dependencies. Okay. So now I have on the target correct dependency, and you see that the vite and the plugin is already here on the dev dependencies. Okay, so we have done this. Now we need to install the dependencies. Okay, so npm install on the target. Okay. So this is done, this is done. Now, look what we have. This is a TypeScript project, okay? And you see that in TypeScript you have TSX and TS. But this is what I took from my JavaScript project. And here I have JSX. So I'm going to rename the JSX to TSX. Okay? all the JSX to TSX. And I'm already starting to get here errors. I will fix them soon. TSX, 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 Okay, so all the component extension name are changed from JSX to TSX, and all the JS we need to change it to a TS. This is logic. This is icon and images. We will handle them later. And this is TS. TS, the JSX to TSX, and this is it. Okay, let's see. Okay, we had rename. Okay, and now we will start looking. You see that every red component is not working correctly. So here, I can remove this. I will handle this picture later. But you see here a problem, and it's saying that could not find declaration file. Okay, so we need to add this. This is declaration file that relate to TypeScript. Okay, this is React Router DOM. And this is one. And let's remove this. Don't need it. And here we also need declaration file for React Helmet. Okay, once I will install it, you will see that it is gone. The error is gone. Okay, so maybe you need to close it. Oh, it's gone. Okay, courses, this is okay. Just remove this. Courses data, remove this. Events, move this. Remove this. Footer, remove this. Remove this. And remove this. Okay. So we've done this and we've done this. And let's see if we have anything beside the pictures, the images. Okay. Now you see that I have here a problem. Okay. And what he is saying is that he does not know what is the type of image.src and desk and href and testimonials. So I need to tell him the types. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will create here an interface. And put here the types of image.src, desk, href, and testimonials category. All of it are string. So simply put here string, href, and testimonial categories, also string. And now we need to tell this component, this functional component, about this type, and we are doing it in the following way. This is a function, and this function return a functional component with properties of this type. So we are using functional component, and we are using generic, and we put it here. And now this is gone. Okay, so in this video I'm not teaching about TypeScript. I will do in another video, but this is functional component. This function return functional component, and the types here, this is generic, is the type of this one. So you see that now the arrow is gone. Okay, here we have all the images. And also here we have the same problem, and we will do the same interface, props, and again all of these are string, so string, now we will do as we did before. This is a function that returns a component, so we will do this. And there is no problem with this being iProps, and before we used iProps because we did not export it. But we need to tell quick fix, add import, and this is imported. And now this arrow is gone. Okay, and let's see what we have here. Okay, there is a problem here. We will take care of it later. Okay, what we have here. What is this data fetch? Data fetch is something that we get from this JSON. Okay, if you look here on event slide, this is not used. Okay, so I can remove it. And I also can remove it from here because it is not used. And if you notice, this start, title, desk, and location, this is exactly as we have here. Okay? So instead of putting it here, I will put it in a directory of interfaces. Okay? If I need this interface in more than one module, I will put it in a directory. And here I will put, because this is event, I will call this iEvent. Okay? So let's create here iEvent. Okay, and let's add iEvent.ts. And let's just take this, export default, and let's use it. Okay, we can use it here, quick fix, and we can use it here, because what we have here, the event slide we saw before, the data that we get from the event slide is, this JSON is an array of iEvents. So what I need to do now, I need to tell useState. First, this is not correct because it should get an array. And the useState here, I will tell him the type of this is actually array of iEvent. And this data fetch is actually, what we put here is actually of type iEvent. And look that now if you look on this as opposed to before, it is very clear that we have here array of events, and before we knew nothing about the type of this. And if this is very small application, no problem, but as the application get bigger and more developer look at it, now I know exactly that this state is an array of iEvent, and before I put it a string here, so which was a mistake. So this is what's part of what TypeScript help you. It help you document your code. It help you synchronize between developers. It help you find mistakes. Okay, now let's continue. Okay, and this. Okay, so the same problem we have here, because we have here an item and its type is not known. So he's saying, I don't know if it exists here. Okay, and he's right. How does it know that it exists? It will know if it will know what is the type of this array. And the type of the array is we can get it from testimonials.json. Okay, so if we will look here, we see that part of the time we get 3 fields, and part of the time we get the same 3 fields and 3 more fields. So we need an interface that will describe it. So we have here testimonials, and if we want one, it is iTestimonials. Okay, so let's add testimonials .ts. Okay, this is an interface. Export default iTestimonial 1, because if we have few, it will be an array of iTestimonial. And what are the fields? Interface. So again, all of them are string, but in all the cases, this appear. Okay, so we have this, it's string. We have this string. And we have here name. And we can relate, and we can, and this job, disk, and href, sometimes they appear and sometimes they don't. So they are optional. Okay, so I can do it like this. This is optional, meaning it does not have to exist. Job and desk. And href. Okay. And now I can use it. And I can say, what you have here is an array. Which array? Array of iTestimonials. And we will need to import it. And now you see that it is gone. The error is gone. Why? Because item is of type iTestimonials, and it has testimonial._category. Okay? We saw it before. Okay, so now the error is gone. And I have here, and here there is simply a bug because this nav, you see here that if it's false, it should be true or false, and it cannot be expanded. Okay, so we need simply to change it to true. Okay, so this is also fixed because we are using TypeScript. And now let's see what we have here. Okay, what he's saying is, hey, I don't know what the type of this URL, but we know that URL is of type string. So let's add here string and see that now it is more clear. What should we pass? Okay, so you see that most of the error are gone. Here we have the index and serviceWorker. Okay, we will get to it on the end. So most of the error here we have is about importing pictures and icons. Okay, and using Create React App you can import pictures. But also on vite JavaScript you can import picture, but for some reason, I don't know why, it is not possible in React vite TypeScript. But anyway, I don't think that I need import. And also, I don't think that I want to put these images and icons here. It should be on public. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I will pass it from here to public. Okay? Okay, I see no reason why SRC should hold source and not icons and images. So this is a good place to move this from here to public. This is one. So let's do it. Okay, we are on the target. We are on the source. And we have icon and images. Control X. And we will put it here. Control V. Okay? And now we can access anything inside public with slash. Okay? So if we want to access this, we need to access slash images and the function name. So instead of using import, I can simply do the following. Const. Use const and remove it. Okay? And now you see that the error is gone. Okay? So again, if you look on this, you see that this is the SRC, and the SRC is this pass. And because it's on public, it is easier to do it. So now instead of import, I will write here const. And instead of form, I will write here following, and the error is gone. Okay, now let's do it on all other places. And the same goes for this. Instead of doing import, let's remove it because it's not needed. We will put here const equal, and we will take it from public. We have put it on public. So again, see it on public. This is icons, and this is how we access it. And the same goes for this. We replace import with const. The from with equal. And you see that the arrow is gone. Okay, let's move it here, and the same goes here. Const equal, and okay, so here, as you remember, this is actually the event. Okay, what we get here is actually array of events. So look how easy it is when using event, when using interface and using TypeScript. Event array, and this is it, because this item is of type iEvent, and iEvent has start date, title, desk, and location. Let's see what we have on the footer. Again, we have the images. So const and equal, and you see that the arrow is gone. Mentoring. Okay, let's move all the imports, which are going to be replaced with const. Okay, so import Control D, tick, 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 const, and from Control D, tick, 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 equal, and error is gone. Okay, so here, okay, here we have the service worker. I'm not using it, so let's remove it. So we can remove it also from here and from here, okay, because it is not using, I'm not using it anywhere. And here the problem is, he's saying that if you are getting element by it might be null, but create root requires an element. So I'm telling him, hey, this is TypeScript, it's not going to be null, and this is going to be okay. This is part of TypeScript. Okay, so let's go back to the readme file and see if we have done what we've done it. This, the one, this, fix component interface, fix import, add interface, remove service, rename. Okay, this is, we have done this. Okay, now let's see what we have. Okay, we need to copy the index from the source. Okay, it is written here, I think, index. Okay. Rename index in the target to underscore. Let's do it. And copy from source. Let's do it. Source index. Put in target. Okay. Notice that. Okay, let's see. This is important. Okay. So in Index.html, I'm accessing index.jsx. But there is no index.jsx, there is index.tsx. Okay, so let's change it to tsx. It's a bit different from what I have done, but I think that we are done. Let's see if it is working. First, before I'm checking it, I want to do npm run build to create production version, because sometimes it does not show error on the editor, on the IDE, but he does find error here. So this is what but now it's looked that it is going to work. If it is creating the build production, then there are no compile error. So npm run dev, and this is very, let's see if it is working. Yes, okay, it is working. This is TypeScript. It is working very nicely. Okay, we are here on the target. So let's go over what we've done. Summary, you have a TypeScript project, you have a JavaScript project and you want to convert it to TypeScript. So you need to migrate it. In my case, I'm using React vite project on the source and the target. And for example, I took my personal website and put it on source and then started the migration. On the target, I've created a TypeScript vite project, remove React and React DOM because maybe they are not the same as source. And then I started change JavaScript to extension to TypeScript, J6 extension to T6, and then started to see all the red errors and fixes the types, fixes added interface, functional component, generics, fix the import, use constant, add interface, remove the serviceWorker, rename the index. This I think that, yes, and also did this. And this is not correct. I did not rename it, I just changed it here. No, I did it. This I did not do. Okay, so let's remove it, rename index. This I did not do. And what I have done, I've changed this. And it is working. Thank you and good luck migrating your project from JavaScript to TypeScript.